Hello everyone, my name is Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. So we have just had the motherload of leaks on everything to do with Nurgle and all of the new Nurgle releases which are coming in January. Basically, somehow, someone somewhere has managed to get hold of next week's White Dwarf Magazine a week early, and all of the prices are in there. Loads of cool bits of information have just been revealed, so I wanted to really quickly make this video to kind of update you on all of these awesome new things. First things first is the Battletome is up for pre-order on the 6th of January and it's going to be available on the 13th. It's going to be 104 pages long, it's only going to be £25 and obviously US dollars and everything else is written there as well. Hang on a second. Yes, good. So it's $40. I was just checking, it has definitely got the USA price and European price and everything's on there. It is all there, it's all good. So we've got new allegiance abilities. I think this whole Circle of Corruption thing is all going to be the same according to the battle report, which is going to be in that same article. It mentions there's going to be painting guides, there's going to be a new spell lore, and just something I quickly screen grabbed from the battle report was this Plague of Misery. You can re-roll battle shock tests of 1 for enemy units. So basically if they get a perfect battle shock score, you can make them re-roll it. So that's pretty cool. £25, not too bad. I think the Stormcast book is more expensive, but then again it is longer. So, you know, it's about the price I was expecting. Now, this funny tree thing has now been announced properly. It is the Feculent Neth, okay? And according to the description, it is going to be a hellish tree which provides a gateway to Nurgle's nightmare realm. They are all about spreading Nurgle's gifts, and basically they're kind of like a gateway to allow extra demons to come through. And also something which is really cool is there's this new system called contagion points, and I've described it down here at the bottom right. Hang on a minute, let me move this a bit closer so I can read it. So contagion points are a resource available to Maggotkin armies as one of their battle traits. They are generated each turn by having units in your deployment zone, having units in your enemy's deployment zone, and having Feculent Neth on the battlefield with no enemies near them. These points can be spent on summoning Nurgle demons and Feculent Neth. The more powerful the demon, the more contagion points you need. So basically it's very, very similar to what we have going on with Khorne, and I think they're called the Blood Tithe points, which is really cool. It's almost like a hybrid of that and what we have for the Sylvaneth with their Wildwoods. So overall it's pretty cool. It's kind of what I was expecting really. If you watched my last videos on this topic, I was saying that I imagine these are going to act like a Sylvaneth Wildwood, and that's precisely what we have. I think it said in there somewhere that units within 7 inches can charge and run, so you're getting that extra mobility to your Nurgle units, which is really cool. And if you don't have the Nurgle keyword, you risk suffering mortal wounds. I assume this is very similar to the whole issue with Wildwoods, where if an enemy model tries to run through a Wildwood and they don't have the Sylvaneth keyword, I can't remember what they roll, I think it's like a 1 if they're running through it or charging, then they take a mortal wound or something like that. I think it's very similar to what's going on there. So basically you can damage enemy units, you increase the mobility of your own units, and you also get a stream of contagion points, which helps you summon extra demons. So very cool. And they're going to be £17.50 and available on the same day, as you would probably expect. I think it's pretty nice. I think by the time I buy these online at the discount I usually buy them at, I think that's quite cheap, but I always love it when they bring out a new piece of scenery, so I'm quite excited about this. Obviously the Great Unclean one, we've had the prices. They've given us a little bit more detail, but to be honest, we already knew there was going to be 2 head choices. There are going to be 6 different Nurglings, including one which looks like it's actually been squashed by the Great Unclean one, so that's really cool. Yeah, the 4 different weapon options we've already seen on the 2 images down here on the bottom left, and I wasn't sure if they were going to bring Rotigus out as a separate kit, or if he was just going to be a build option from this kit, and he is definitely going to be part of the same kit. So that's confirmed, that's really cool. More importantly, £85. Now, I posted on Twitter the other day saying, I'm a bit worried about how much this is going to cost, and in all honesty, I was thinking they might put this at 90 or maybe even 95, so I think they've actually got the price spot on, to be honest, considering how absolutely enormous this model is and what a heavy, dense piece of plastic it is. I mean, obviously I haven't lifted it up, but you just know this thing is going to be dense. It's massive. It's highly detailed, it's brand new. I think this is a reasonable price and I'm actually really happy with it. And yeah, I know obviously with Games Workshop you pay for quality. That's why these things are so expensive, but I'm actually happy with it. It's very comparable to buying an Alariel or a Star Drake or something along that lines. So yep, I'm very happy with it. I think it is the most expensive of the 3 Greater Demons, but even so, it's about what I'd expect for a model of this size and detail. Then we've got the new Lord of Blights, which we finally have a proper picture for as of a couple of days ago. And he is going to cost £15. I don't know if there's anything else much to say that's new about him, so I will kind of whiz over him a little bit. But he is actually a really nice model. I'm definitely going to buy him. I'd say in terms of the price of him, I think that's about right. Considering he is 15, he's quite big, he's highly detailed. I'm not sure why the new Stormcast guy, Gavriel Shawheart, has to cost 20 when this model is just as detailed, just as cool. And in fact, I think he actually looks better, but that's just my opinion. These 2 guys, Spoilpox Scrivener and Sloppity Bilepiper, they are going to be £15. I don't necessarily think there's anything particularly new to say about them, so they're the same price you'd expect. In fact, it actually looks like Sloppity Bilepiper is going to be available later. I've only just noticed that, but he pre-orders when most of the other stuff comes out. Let me just go back and check this one. Yeah, okay, the Lord of Blights is as well, and yeah, the Great Unclean one comes out on the 13th. Lord of Blight comes out a week later, and so does Sloppity Bilepiper, whereas Spoilpox comes out the week before. So, something to be aware of, perhaps. Again, the prices, I would say maybe... I know it's never going to happen. I would have liked to have seen them more around like the 10 mark, considering they are just kind of heralds of Nergal. And I think some of the individual characters are a tiny bit overpriced now from Games Workshop. But nevertheless, you know, they need to make their money back. We won't make this video about how expensive or cheap Games Workshop figures are. But, you know, it could be worse. I guess we'll leave it there. The one thing about Spoilpox, I was wondering what this enormous mouth is on his shoulder, and they confirmed it is actually his nose. So if you actually look, he's got kind of like a trunk which extends around the back of his face and then up to his shoulder, and yeah, that's kind of his nose and mouth. So there you go, that is what that is. We've also got, I just chucked these in down the bottom because they look awesome. Like, how good are all these new Nurglings? I love the Chosen one down there, which I think comes with the Great Unclean one kit. And I also particularly love the Droneling. Like, look at that little guy riding a... are they called drones? Plague drones? I'm not sure, but he's great. I definitely want one of those. Beasts of Nurgle kit. These are £25, and they're also coming out a little bit later by the looks of things. You're going to have 4 different stomachs, 3 different heads, the kind of crests with all the tubes. There's 2 different versions, and if you look down the bottom you can actually see the 2 different types of tubes, because one of them is almost a bit more kind of octopus-like and one's a bit more actual tubey. But yeah, they're the 2 different types, and it says you have a choice of claws or flippers. So they are quite customizable, but I'm not sure if I would agree with their wording of highly customizable. You know, the actual basic pose of the beast of Nergal is going to be quite rigid and samey, but then you're just kind of interchanging the heads and the tentacles, the claws, and the details of the stomach. So I think, although they will end up looking very individual, at the same time, the actual poses, I think, are going to be quite similar. But I guess we'll have to wait till the set actually comes out fully and people start building them properly to show what's available. I hope that rain is not too loud. My goodness, it's really... I've got a roof window above me here and it's really quite loud. So hopefully that doesn't ruin this video, but still. Yeah, they're going to be £25, which I guess that's what you'd expect. Maybe a little bit pricey. It depends how kind of big they end up looking, and it's hard to gauge a sense of perspective. They look kind of quite big from the picture down below, but we'll have to wait till they come out. I really like them. The detail's good. They look infinitely better than what there was before, but I don't know. I guess maybe I was expecting more like £20. If you think about those kind of Dracoth lords for the Stormcast, I think they're about £20 each because they come in a 2 for £40 box. So I guess it's about what you'd expect. These guys, they now have a proper name. They are the Pus Goyle Blight Lords. And if you look at the guy on the right who is holding that corpse, he has actually been built as a Lord of Affliction. So in the kit you get 2 models, and you can either build them as just a normal Pus Goyle Blight Lord, or you can optionally build a Lord of Afflictions, which is kind of like a new mortal hero. And they hold that corpse, which is called an incubatch, and I believe it's basically just a corpse full of plagues and diseases which are highly contagious, and they can spread that around. But these are going to be £40, and again, I guess it's what you'd expect. I was thinking of the plague drones. I think you may get 3. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I was kind of hoping these would come in a box of 3 for about the same price. But at the same time, I guess they are quite large models, and they basically have a Blight King sitting on top and the option to build one as a hero. So again, like, it's a little bit more than I was expecting it to cost, but I guess when you really think about it, maybe that's what I should have expected. But yeah, apparently you get all the same assortment of weapons as the Putrid Blight Kings. They look good, they look powerful. You get, of course, a whole load new Nurglings to assemble on them. And yeah, I mean, they are what they are. I don't know if I will rush out to pick these guys up of this particular list of releases. They're the ones I'm probably least excited about, but they are cool nonetheless. And yeah, basically that is all of the leaks in terms of Nergal, the prices, when these models are going to be out. Let me know down below which of these models you are most excited about. I can tell you instantly that I am going to... Hang on, let me go back to him. Look at this model. I absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to be picking this one up immediately. Like, I will pre-order this. I can't wait to get my hands on it, and I will also get the Nurgle Battletome, and I will go through that and kind of do some tactics, look at what all the new rules are. I'm interested to see how much they may or may not update War Scrolls, because we've already seen that they are definitely going to be changing the War Scroll of the Great Unclean one. He's got 6 more wounds now, 16 instead of 10. So yep, I will hopefully be covering all of the details of the Nurgle release as it comes out, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, quick video just updating you on all the new stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.